Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the NBA Draftkings and Fanduel slate for Thursday, February the 23rd. The NBA is finally back after a long All-Star break. Hope you guys had some time to just reset, or if you played some other sports, hope you made some money. We're looking back to DraftKings Fanduel. Have a prize picks video out after this as well, and underdog mixed in there too. So let's get started. As always, if you enjoyed the content, appreciate it. If the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Other links are in the description. And let's get started. So point guard plays, we have Damian Lillard. You might have had to do a double take if you haven't checked the slate since then. He's up to 11-4. Heading into the All-Star break, he crossed that 11K threshold. And the reason he's so expensive is that Simons is out for a couple weeks, so he's going to have to carry the show. And the matchup is really good against Sacramento, but I just don't know if I can pay that much for him when you can. Even though Luka is playing with Irving now, he still gets a good matchup there. But, I don't think I'm too interested in either of the top two guys with Irving, there, and he's not on the injury report anymore. SGA going into Utah, it's okay, but there's some probably better pricing we can get to. 9K range, Van Fleet is super expensive. Fox I love, but 98. They're not really giving you any sorts of discounts on some of these guys heading into the second half of the season. They kind of took some of those extra days and priced everybody up. Like, everybody's over 9K. Poole is 91. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we're going to be looking for some value. Somebody that is cheap, like a D'Angelo Russell at $6,500. He plays some blowout last game, so he just played 28, but he probably would have played more. Price tag is really good. Matchup is also solid against the Warriors. He's definitely on the radar as a guy to look to. Going down to the 5K range, you have some questionable pieces here. Sexton and Trey Jones. Have to keep an eye on them. 4K range, you have Hayes, who's 47, but he's been struggling. He's been up and down. So he makes for a decent tournament play, but, the shooting completely lost it. 1 of 11, 1 of 10, 3 of 11. Just absolutely awful. Still, now he's down to 37% from the season. He was off to a pretty good start, but he's just been an absolute brickfest over the last month, over his last 10 days. It's only been 3 games, but he's shooting 15% from the floor. And then nothing really down here that I'm looking at too much. So if you wanted to go with a mid-range play, I think Russell is the guy that I like at $6,500. Point guard and shooting guard eligible. Going over to the shooting guard plays, or at the 9K and above range, you have guys priced a lot more expensive than usual. Donovan Mitchell's been playing great heading into the break, so maybe if you want to play him and hope that he stays hot. But the matchup against Denver they're a pretty good defense. Even Clay is up to 88, so not really a big fan of the DraftKings pricing to open up the second half of the season. I wish they wouldn't have jacked up all of these prices. It just, it's more fun when their guys are cheaper and you can fit more studs in. But at the shooting guard position, Clarkson is 75. He's expensive, but he's going to shoot as much as he wants. And last game, he even flirted with a double-double, which was probably encouraging and good to see. You have Talen Horton-Tucker at $4,800. He's been just getting those extra minutes playing time. Got 32 minutes last game, and he's been productive. I do like him as a value play, especially if Sexton is not able to play. You might see him jump into the starting lineup in that case. So he had a hamstring injury heading into the break, and we don't know his status yet. But assuming he's not playing, then I'm going to put in Horton-Tucker. He's going to be in the starting lineup, most likely in that situation, and then just play over 30 minutes. And that price tag in a good matchup, looks really solid. Other picks you could look to, maybe like a LeVert as a value piece, or even a Beasley at $4,100 as a GPP sort of play. Moving on to small forward, Tatum is 11K, going up against the Pacers. Great matchup, but maybe you can go a little bit cheaper here. Marketing with the Q tag, but it's not really anything to be worried about. He played in the All-Star game, so should be good to go. Other guys in the 8K range, just not really that much of a fan of. I don't know if Wiggins is out, so Okay, so he's out after the All-Star break, so that's going to make you look to Kuminga possibly as a value play. Will make Clay and Poole look better, but they're already priced way up. I'm not sure we're getting much of a value there. But looking at the Warriors side, see if Kuminga, he might just be power forward eligible. Yeah, he's $4,100 though, but he makes some sense there. A value piece you could look to at small forward is in the Blazers without Simons. They're going to be shorthanded a bit. And then it's going to make Cam Reddish, who's been getting some decent minutes. He got a lot of minutes last game. He was playing well. With 33 minutes last game, put up 25, hits 4 threes. It's a little, you never know. He's definitely a streaky shooter, but still had a lot of talent back with the Hawks days. Thought he would at least give it a chance in New York, which he wasn't. Now he's going to get some opportunities in Portland, so he's probably going to be able to make the most of it in a matchup against the Kings, rack up some defensive stats in a fast-paced game, some rebounds. Stuff like that, the price tag is super cheap, so definitely like Cam Reddish. Power forward, don't mind Pascal at 10-2 if you wanted to get to him as a pay-up. Looks like Gordon is out again, so another injury. He's been out with the rib issue I thought maybe he'd be back after the All-Star break, but he is still out. At this position, if you're looking to go cheap here, I'd probably look to maybe Kuminga at $4,100, just with the price being cheap and a guy that does give you upside. And he might be in the starting lineup in place of Wiggins, depending on which route they want to go. We're all looking for a pay up. Pascal, he's been shooting a ton, and he's always a guy that chips in all categories. Skip that position for now at center. Even though it's not the best matchup, I mean, you got to like Jokic without Gordon. He put up 70 against this team earlier with a triple-double against the Cavs. And Jared Allen and that defense is still stout, but Allen is going to struggle to keep up with Jokic when he's out at the three-point line. Allen is a guy that doesn't like to move away from the basket too much. So I'm still going to be looking to get to Jokic as a pay-up. Center is pretty loaded. You can double-stack your top-end centers if you wanted to. Value centers, you're looking at maybe Robert Williams at 62, maybe Kessler at 57, and then you're just going to kind of go dumpster diving after that unless we get some injury news. And then back over to the guard position. We have enough money that we can at least go with a reasonable pay-up. Or you can go down for a value piece. Looking at the Spurs side, Jones, even though he has a Q tag, he's doubtful for this game. So if he's going to continue to miss games, then Malachi Branham has been putting in some good games. He's only $4,500. Devontae Graham also gives you some upside off the bench you can look to. But for a guy that does have opportunities for 40-plus DraftKings points, plays 30-plus minutes in close games, sometimes even 35-plus, going to go with him. The price tag has come down. Maybe they were expecting Trey Jones to be back. So one of the few pieces that's not priced up on DraftKings for this Thursday. But that's it on DK. Let's talk about FanDuel. Alright, so on FanDuel, completely different pricing. Lots of other guys that are way too expensive on DraftKings, like Clarkson is only $6,400 on FanDuel. He'd be a guy to start with, point guard and shooting guard eligible. You get to be able to get to Jordan Poole at only $8,300, and I like him more than Clay for $300 more. So like 91 on DraftKings might be a little prohibitive, but 83 I'll sign up for that. Love Brennan Ingram too. I don't love him at the DraftKings pricing, but FanDuel sub 8K, only $7,800. He's been putting up a lot of 30-point games, and we know he can chip in with rebounds and some assists too. Assists were down the last couple of games, but matchup is decent against Toronto. Power forward Jeremy Grant's only $6,100. He missed the last couple of games heading into the break, but he's back, and Simons is out, so going to become the second option on the team to score. We know Nurkic is still out, so him, Lillard, and then if Reddish has a good game, or he's going to be like the third or fourth option, they're going to be a little thin besides their top two guys, and Grant's going to get some more opportunities. And then center, still want to try to get to Jokic on both sides. Just without Gordon, potentially without Murray, he's going to be able to facilitate, rebound, do whatever he's been doing, and coming in fully rested after the All-Star break. So those are the guys I like on both sides. FanDuel definitely looks a lot better with the pricing. DraftKings, they price everybody up, the studs. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you all next time.